Hello, soulmates. Welcome to Soul BB Concepts. I'm Blessing, and on this channel, we'll be giving out valuable content. We'll be teaching how to sew this gown here, this beautiful gown with a single collar and a rolled off sleeve. It's an A-line gown. So please click on the subscription button and turn on the notification bell so you see our content when we post them. Thank you. Fold out our fabric into four pieces. The front piece is for the front and the one under is for the back piece. So you see that the front has a zipper allowance of 2 inch because we'll be having our zip in front, and I've gone ahead to use office paint to secure the fabric because it shakes a lot. So if you're working with fabric like this, you want to use office paint to secure it. Lie it flat and make sure it's accurately laid before you start marking out your measurement. So after this, now what we're going to do is to mark out our start point. After marking that out, then we measure from our center back to the sleeve length where we want the sleeve to stop. Ensure the line is straight. So we'll measure from the center back to where we want the sleeve to stop, which is our sleeve length. After measuring that, I'm using a sleeve length of a shoulder to sleeve of 18 inch. So I'll mark out the 18 inch. Then from the 18 inch mark, come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. And we'll come down by 1 inch. That will serve as our shoulder slope. Then we'll connect it back to the start line. After connecting it to the start line, then the next thing to do is to measure. That fabric shakes a lot, so just be careful. You roll it out, then you place the tape on the start line and mark your nipple points. I'm using the nipple points of 11 inch, then a sleeve opening of 10 inch. So I've gone ahead to mark a sleeve opening of 10 inch. So now I'll mark my bust circumference along the 11 inch, that's the bust point. My bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inch for seam allowance. It's going to be a free dress, so that's why I'm adding 2 inch for ease, 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for seam. So 2 inch for seam allowance. Then after that, we're going to now mark our waist point as our half length. When we mark it, we'll mark our hip line as well. You might not be needing that for this tutorial, but just mark it out. So measure our waist circumference along the hip line, along the half length, sorry. Then we measure it and add 2 inch for seam allowance. Ensure the fabric is well laid. That's the exact. Then add 2 inch for seam allowance. Then now all we have to do is to connect the bust point to the half length, to the waist measurement. Connect it like this and connect it with the straight line to the sleeve opening. Remember, we're not cutting the sleeve differently for this clothes. The sleeve is joined together. That's why it's a cut together line A-line gown. So we'll come out from that sharp end by ½ inch. Then we'll connect it with a curve. Just curve it into the bust and curve it out to the sleeve measurements. That's all. That's basically all for that. Then we'll go ahead to mark this. We have 18 inch. We'll come here and minus 1 inch, so we're marking at 17 inch. We're making the 1 inch smaller so it can be slanty to ensure that the sleeve is balanced. So we'll mark 17 inch there to make it slanty. Then we'll join it with a slant straight line. This fabric shakes a lot. After marking that, the next thing to do now is to connect from our waistline. We'll open it down to the end of the dress because it's an A-line dress, so we don't have to start measuring the hip line. We don't need any of those. It has to be free on the hip So just open it down to the hem of the dress. So after doing that, we'll now come back to the neck and mark the neck measurement. So we'll be using a neck width of 3 inch and neck depth of 3 for the front, so 3 by 3 for the front. I'll be using 3 by we'll be using 3 by 1.5 for the back. So that's 3 by 3 for the front, then this is for the back neckline. So we'll connect it together with the curve. We're using a round neckline, so just give it a fine curve there to ensure it's a round neckline. That's all that needs to be done. Then for the back neckline, it's a bit not deep, so that's all that needs to be done for the neck. So after this, what we'll go down to do is to extend our measurements down to the full length of the dress. Remember, we stopped at the hip line because of the table, so we have to continue from where our hip measurement stopped and complete the measurements. So place our tip where we stopped from our hip measurements, then our full measurements to get our full length of the dress. Mark a line there and roll it all the way to the end. Then at the edge, to avoid it being very pointy, we go up by 1 inch and just slant it into the dress. So we'll just roll our line for the measurements, and now we'll go up by 1 inch or 1.5, but I just did 1 inch there and slant it into the dress to avoid that end being too pointy. So from that 1 inch you went up by, you connect it back to the hip line to form the A-line dress completely. So we're connecting it back to the hip line. That's basically all for this. So what we need to do now is to cut it out. We're going ahead to cut out off camera because of time. So now we'll just remove the neckline. Now I'm showing the neckline, so be careful. So cut the front and back together, but the back neckline, the front neckline, remember to deepen it alone, don't cut it together. So you take it up and cut only the front neckline. You see what I'm doing now? Just the front. You cut it differently because it's deeper than the back. So after cutting the neckline, that's basically all. All we have to do now is to open up our zipper allowance. So just open it up. You cut open down to the hem of the dress. So we'll go ahead now to join the shoulder. So we'll join the front to the back by the shoulder, and then we have just gone ahead to join it. You see how it looks? It's joined already. We'll join the front to the back by the shoulder. So that's it. Now we'll cut out a strip of 4-inch wide and 20-inch long. We are going to be using it to turn the sleeve over to the front side. You'll see the way it will look after we're done. We're turning it over to the front side, not the back. So we have two of that strip. It's 4-inch, so that when we sew it, so close it will be 2-inch. So we'll just bring the sleeve, turn the back side, let the back side be facing you, then attach from one end to the other, from one end of the sleeve to the other. That's the way to attach it. And after attaching it, you sew close from the sleeve opening down to the hem. That's basically that's for the sleeve and closing the hem of the dress. If you want to also attach a pocket, you can do that also. I attached the pocket, but I did it off camera. So now we're done attaching. If you have an interlocking machine, just go ahead and interlock that rough edge. Go ahead and interlock it now before you continue. Then this is how you turn it over. When you want to sew close, you turn it over to the right side and you sew close the sleeves. So you close it this way, and so close it, stitch close, but you turn this sleeve, you turn this over this 2-inch band inward, not outward like this. You turn it inward. You just, the way I'm doing it now, turn it like this, then you stitch. All right, that's how to do it. Down to the hem, you do the same thing for the other side. That's basically that. Then now we'll go to the neckline. We'll measure around the neckline, and when I measured mine, what I got was 21 inches for the round neckline. So that's what we're going to draft our pattern for the single collar. So 21 inches divided by 2, what we have is 10.5. So we'll mark 10.5 on our pattern paper. So after marking 10.5, on the 10.5 mark, we'll go up by half inch. Then you divide 10.5 by 2, which is 5.25. You mark on 5.25. Just elongate the line, so do whatever I want to do on that line. So on from the half inch we went up to the 5.25, we just draw a slant line to connect. So this is my 5.25 mark. I'll just connect to the curve to my half inch, just slight curve. Then we'll draw a 1 inch above. That's for the collar stand. Just mark 1 inch all round through. After the 1 inch, you still use the curve ruler to connect it. 1 inch. So use the curve ruler to connect it. So you turn it the other way. Yeah, so you connect it. So after connecting this is the collar stand. We'll now mark out our collar. So the main collar, I want it to be 2 inch. You can make yours to be 1.5 inch, but I want it to be 2 inch. So you mark from that mark 2 inch above. You mark it down to the other end. Remember, when you are cutting your collar on your fabric, you make sure the fabric is on fold on this other end. On the end I'm marking now, it should be on fold. Then the other side should be open. So you just mark out 1 inch on that side to just give a stylish curve. 1 inch inward, then you curve it out to the other end just to make it stylish, but it's optional. You curve it out, so it's just stylish. All right, that's all. Then you connect all this to 2 inch mark. You connect it together, and after connecting it, just to ensure your collar has this pointy effect, you join the 1 inch you went in by to the outer part, just like so. Just join it, and that is all about your collar. So when you cut this out, it comes out as a single collar. All right, it comes out as a single collar. You don't have to cut a collar stand different and cut it differently. I've gone ahead to cut it on the fabric and attached it to the collar. You see how neat is looking. So after attaching it, you just iron it to fold it, because it's one piece, and I've attached the zip as well. So this is what it looks like after ironing. You see how neat it looks. So these are A-line gown with collar.